Have you ever felt it? That deep persistent ache in your calves after a long day, or a strange coolness in your toes, even when the room is warm. These aren't just random discomforts. They are quiet messages from one of your body's most vital and overlooked systems. We often learn to ignore these whispers, dismissing them as a normal part of getting older, until they grow into shouts that we can no longer disregard. This series is about learning to listen again. We are going to explore the silent, crucial world of leg circulation, specifically for those of us navigating life over 50. If you're ready to understand your body better and take proactive steps for your long-term health, take a moment now to subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss a single part of this essential guide. As we journey through life, our bodies undergo a remarkable series of transformations. Our vascular system, the intricate superhighway that carries life-giving blood to every cell, is no exception. Over time, the walls of our veins and arteries can naturally become less flexible, and the tiny one-way valves inside our leg veins, which perform the Herculean task of pushing blood against gravity every second of every day, can begin to show signs of wear. This is not a cause for immediate alarm. It is a natural process. However, it does mean that our circulatory health deserves more of our focused attention now than ever before. Understanding these gradual changes is the absolute first step toward supporting our bodies effectively, ensuring our legs remain strong and capable of carrying us through all the vibrant, active years still ahead. Before we proceed, it is absolutely critical to state this clearly and unequivocally. This video series is for informational and educational purposes only. We are not doctors, and nothing we say here should be considered a substitute for professional medical advice. Think of us as your trusted guide, helping you read and understand the complex map of your own body. Our goal is to arm you with knowledge, so you can recognize potential signals and have more meaningful, informed conversations with your healthcare provider. Any new, changing, or persistent symptom, whether it's swelling, pain, discoloration, or numbness, should always be discussed with a qualified medical professional who can provide a proper diagnosis and a personalized treatment plan. Your health is your most valuable asset, and it deserves expert care. Over the course of this 5-part series, we will embark on a comprehensive journey together. We will begin by demystifying the circulatory system itself. How does this incredible network actually function from moment to moment? From there, we will learn to identify the top 10 subtle warning signs that your legs might be sending you, long before they become serious problems. We will then dive deep into the powerful, science-backed lifestyle changes, dietary choices, and simple exercises you can begin implementing today to actively support and improve healthy blood flow. Finally, we'll clarify the critical red flags, the specific symptoms that mean you should stop what you're doing and seek medical attention immediately. This is a complete roadmap from awareness to action, designed to empower you. But to properly interpret any message, you must first understand the language in which it's written. Before we can begin to decode the whispers of discomfort, the tingling, the emerging varicose veins, the persistent feeling of heaviness, we need to build a solid foundation of knowledge. We need to appreciate the sheer brilliance of the biological engineering that keeps us moving every single day. How does your heart pump blood on a 2-meter journey against the constant pull of gravity? And how does that blood make its way all the way back up? Understanding this incredible process isn't just academic. It is the absolute key to recognizing when the flow is disrupted. And that is precisely where we will begin in our next part, building our fundamental understanding of this amazing biological highway. To grasp what's happening in our legs, we must picture the incredible highway system inside us. Imagine your heart as the central power station. With every beat, it pushes out oxygen-rich blood through high-pressure pipelines called arteries. These aren't hollow tubes. Their walls are thick and muscular, propelling the blood forward. This ensures every cell, from your brain to the tips of your toes, receives the energy it needs to function. This is the arterial system, a powerful, high-speed delivery network designed for maximum efficiency, carrying vital resources away from the core. But every delivery network requires a return path. After dropping off its oxygen, the blood must collect metabolic waste, like carbon dioxide, and transport it back. This is the job of the veins. If arteries are outbound superhighways, veins are the low-speed return lanes. The pressure here is significantly lower, as the heart's initial force has dissipated. Consequently, veins have thinner, less muscular walls. They are not a high-powered system, but a passive collection network, relying on external help to guide deoxygenated blood on its slow journey back to the heart and lungs. This system faces its greatest challenge in the legs, and the enemy is gravity. While pushing blood down is straightforward, Getting it all the way back up to the chest is a constant uphill battle. Your body employs a brilliant solution: the calf muscle pump. Every time you walk, your calf muscles contract, squeezing the deep veins and propelling blood upward. To prevent it from falling back down, these veins are lined with tiny one-way valves. They open to let blood pass toward the heart, then snap shut to defy gravity's pull. It's a sophisticated biological pump, essential for us. So, what happens as this system ages? Time takes its toll. Arterial highways can lose their flexibility and become stiffer. More importantly for our legs, the veins can stretch and lose their tone. But the most vulnerable components are those tiny, hard-working valves. Over decades of constant pressure, they can weaken and fail to close properly. When a valve fails, it can no longer stop the backflow of blood. Instead of moving efficiently upward, blood begins to pool in the lower legs, increasing pressure on the vein walls and the valves below, creating a domino effect. Understanding this mechanism is the key to recognizing the problem. When this finely tuned system of muscle pumps and valves begins to falter, the body sends clear signals. The pooling of blood and increased pressure in the veins aren't silent events. They manifest as physical symptoms we can see and feel. These aren't just random aches and pains of aging. They are specific messages from a system under strain. By learning to interpret the language of our circulation, we move from simply noticing a problem to understanding its root cause. And that understanding is the first step toward taking control. With our understanding of the body's circulatory highways, we can now move from theory to observation. Many people assume the first major sign of poor leg circulation is pain or significant swelling. But often, the earliest and most revealing clue is far more subtle, and it's written directly on your skin. Your lower legs can become a clear window into the health of your vascular system. The most overlooked sign is a change in the skin's texture. It might develop a shiny, tight, or almost glassy appearance. This isn't the glow of healthy moisturized skin. It's a sign of tissue under stress. The skin may feel thin, almost papery to the touch, and seem stretched over the shin bone. This is a direct result of the circulatory slowdown we discussed. It's the first quiet alarm bell, one that is easy to dismiss as a simple consequence of aging or dry weather, but it's telling a much deeper story. This distinct shininess and thinning is a direct physiological response to deprivation. Think of your skin cells as tiny, bustling factories that require a constant supply of fuel and building materials, all delivered by your bloodstream. When circulation is compromised, that delivery service becomes unreliable. Oxygen, vital nutrients, and proteins struggle to reach the outermost layers of tissue. Without these essential resources, the skin cells can't properly repair and regenerate. The robust, flexible collagen and elastin fibers begin to break down, and the skin loses its natural plumpness and resilience. This is why it becomes thin and fragile. It's not just a surface-level issue. It's a sign of starvation at a cellular level, a visible indicator that the intricate network of capillaries just beneath the surface isn't getting the blood flow it needs to keep the tissue healthy and strong. Alongside this change in texture, two other critical signs often appear: hair loss and discoloration. You might notice that the hair on your shins, feet, and toes, which was once prominent, begins to thin out or disappear in patches. Hair follicles are incredibly active structures that demand a rich blood supply to produce hair. When that supply dwindles, the follicles effectively go dormant, and hair growth ceases. This isn't the same as age-related thinning elsewhere. It's often localized to the lower extremities. Furthermore, pay close attention to color. The skin might take on a pale, waxy appearance, or conversely, a reddish-blue or purplish tint, especially after sitting or standing for a while. If you're finding this information valuable in understanding these subtle signs, please take a moment to like this video and share your observations in the comments below. It helps us reach more people who need to hear it. It's crucially important to differentiate these symptoms from more common, benign conditions. Many people will attribute hair loss on the legs to friction from socks or pants. They might blame shiny skin on a new lotion, or simply getting older. While aging does naturally thin the skin to some degree, it typically doesn't produce that specific combination of a tight, glassy surface, significant hair loss, and noticeable temperature changes, which we'll discuss soon. Dermatological issues like eczema or psoriasis, usually present with redness, itching, and flaking symptoms that are distinctly different from the smooth, cool, and hairless skin associated with poor circulation. The key is pattern recognition. It's not about one single symptom in isolation, but about observing how these specific changes cluster together, painting a picture that points not to the skin itself, but to the delivery system beneath it. So, The skin on our legs acts as an early warning system, a visible dashboard for the invisible processes happening within. This shiny, thin, and discolored surface is the most obvious external clue that the internal highways are congested, but it's rarely a solo act. This check engine light is almost always accompanied by other signals, sensations that you feel rather than see. The question then becomes, what are those other symptoms? What happens when these visible skin changes are combined with new feelings like coldness, numbness, or a strange cramping that seems to have no cause? When these external and internal clues are put together, they form a complete and undeniable picture, guiding us toward the next piece of the puzzle. Beyond the skin's silent testimony, your body often sends more audible alarms. The most distinct of these is a sharp, cramping pain that appears in your calves, thighs, or even buttocks during physical activity, like walking up a hill or a flight of stairs. This pain forces you to stop. Then, after a few moments of rest, it vanishes as if it were never there. This is not a simple muscle cramp from overexertion. It is a textbook sign called intermittent claudication. It is the direct result of arteries that have become too narrow to supply your hard-working muscles with the oxygen-rich blood they desperately need. When you move, the demand for oxygen skyrockets. When the supply line is congested, your muscles are starved, and they protest with pain. When you rest, the demand plummets, and the limited blood flow is finally enough to satisfy their needs, silencing the alarm until the next time you push them. Think of this phenomenon as a precise biological gauge for your arterial health. The pain of claudication is remarkably consistent. You might find it always appears after walking 2 blocks, or after climbing the same set of stairs. This predictability is its most telling feature. Your muscles are essentially telling you the exact point at which their energy demands outstrip the circulatory system's delivery capacity. This isn't a vague ache. It's a specific, repeatable event caused by plaque buildup, a condition known as atherosclerosis, creating a traffic jam in the very vessels designed for high-speed delivery. It's a direct communication of failure, a warning light on your body's dashboard, indicating that the fuel line to your muscles is critically clogged and cannot handle the pressure of acceleration. But the symphony of poor circulation isn't always played in sharp, painful bursts. Often, it's a low, constant hum of discomfort. Many people report a persistent feeling of heaviness, tiredness, or a dull ache in their legs, even with minimal activity. This is the other side of the coin, venous insufficiency. While arteries deliver blood, veins have the difficult, uphill job of returning it to the heart. When the valves in these veins weaken, blood can pool in the lower legs, creating pressure, contributing to swelling, and causing that leaden, fatigued sensation. At the same time, you might notice that your hands and feet are perpetually cold, even in a warm room. This is an arterial issue. Your body intelligently prioritizes blood flow to vital organs, and when supply is limited, it restricts flow to the extremities first. Your fingers and toes are the last stop on the circulatory line, and they are the first to suffer a shortage. Perhaps the most critical, yet frequently ignored, signal is your body's compromised ability to repair itself. A small cut, a blister from a new pair of shoes, or a simple scrape on your lower leg should initiate a swift healing process. But when circulation is poor, these minor injuries can linger for weeks, refusing to heal and sometimes worsening into open sores, known as ulcers. Healing is a complex, resource-heavy biological project that requires a massive and continuous delivery of oxygen, nutrients, and immune cells via the bloodstream. When that supply chain is broken, the repair crew never arrives in full force. This not only stalls the healing process indefinitely, but also creates a dangerous opening for bacteria to invade, transforming a trivial wound into a severe limb-threatening infection. So now, the pieces of the puzzle begin to fit together, forming a coherent picture. It starts with the subtle visual cues on the skin, the shininess, the hair loss, the discoloration. Then the orchestra begins to play, the sharp, predictable pain of claudication during exertion, the chronic, heavy ache of pooling blood, the persistent chill in your hands and feet, and the alarming failure of your body to heal its own wounds. These are not separate, unrelated ailments, or simply signs of getting older. They are interconnected symptoms, each one a different instrument playing a part in the same urgent composition. Recognizing that your sore legs, swollen ankles, and cold feet are part of this larger pattern is the most crucial step. It's the realization that empowers you to stop treating the symptoms and start addressing the underlying cause. Having connected the dots between leg cramps, cold feet, and those subtle skin changes, the crucial question becomes, what now? Knowledge without action is merely trivia. The power lies in translating this awareness into daily habits that actively support your circulatory system. This isn't about drastic, unsustainable overhauls. It's about incorporating small, consistent movements. Gentle, low-impact exercises like walking, swimming, or cycling are phenomenal for encouraging blood flow without stressing your joints. Even simple actions performed while sitting, like ankle pumps, foot circles, or periodically standing up to stretch, can act as a mini pump for your lower legs, fighting the stagnating effects of gravity and prolonged inactivity. Think of each step, each stretch, as a direct message to your vascular system, reminding it to keep moving. Beyond active movement, we can leverage simple physics and smart nutrition to our advantage. Elevating your legs above the level of your heart for 15 to 20 minutes, a few times a day, is one of the most effective passive exercises you can do. It provides a gravitational assist, making it easier for blood to drain from your lower extremities and return to the heart, which can immediately reduce swelling and feelings of heaviness. On the nutritional front, hydration is non-negotiable. Water helps maintain blood volume and viscosity, making it easier to pump. Additionally, incorporating foods rich in flavonoids like berries, dark chocolate, and leafy greens can help improve blood vessel function and reduce inflammation, creating a more favorable internal environment for healthy circulation from the inside out. However, it is critically important to distinguish between symptoms that can be managed with lifestyle changes and red flags that demand immediate medical attention. These are the non-negotiable signals your body sends when a serious issue may be unfolding. If you experience sudden, severe pain in an arm or leg, accompanied by paleness, coldness, and a weak or absent pulse, this could signal an acute arterial blockage and is a medical emergency. Likewise, sudden swelling, pain, warmth, and redness in just one leg could indicate a deep vein thrombosis, or DVT, a blood clot that can be life-threatening if it travels to the lungs. Any open sore or ulcer on your legs or feet that isn't healing, especially if it shows signs of infection, also requires urgent professional evaluation. Recognizing these distinctions is the ultimate form of self-care. It's about empowering yourself, not with anxiety, but with clarity. Your body is in constant communication with you, through sensations of comfort and discomfort, through subtle changes in skin texture and color, and through its response to your daily activities. Learning to listen to this feedback is a skill. It's about transforming from a passive passenger into an active, engaged pilot of your own health. You've learned to spot the shiny, hairless skin, to understand why your feet are always cold, and to connect the ache in your calves to the demands of your circulatory system. This knowledge gives you the power to respond thoughtfully, not just react to alarms. This entire journey, from identifying the first subtle sign to understanding the full symphony of symptoms, has been about building that awareness. Now, the final step is consistent action. Don't let this knowledge fade. Start with one small change today, a 10-minute walk, a conscious effort to drink more water, or a few minutes with your legs elevated. These are the actions that compound over time, building a foundation of vascular health. If this deep dive has empowered you to take control of your health, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because our next video explores the 5 surprising foods that can actively help clear your arteries. Don't just watch, act. Your body will thank you for it.